Good morning from Tor Marancia neighborhood in Rome. Today I'm going to show you something really special. So Rome has the rich quarters, the rich zones, and it has the poor zones. Unfortunately, there are quite a few poor zones. And so many people have been trying to find some solutions to those poor neighborhoods, or slums, as you might call it. One of those places is here, Tor Marancia, in the very south of Rome. Then, a few years ago, someone came up with an interesting and innovative idea. And the idea was this: let's bring the best graffiti artists in the world and have them paint over an entire neighborhood, entire block of buildings. Then tourists will come and it'll lift up the zone. And this is the open gallery of Tor Marancia, which we're going to see today. This open gallery contains 22 paintings on 22 buildings. So let's try and take a look at them and see this inspiring art, and let's see how the neighborhood is doing. It's been like 4 or 5 years since the initiative. Let's see if it had any effect on the well-being. So here is our first. So we have this wrestler type fighting with another wrestler. They wear this weird cat mask, and it looks like one is kicking the ass of the other. And this one is called Il peso della storia, the weight of history. So this one is quite beautiful. A kid here down below, he has some paint, some painted pencils, and with those pencils he basically drew his ladder, and then he climbed the ladder, this kid of ours, and now his head is way up there in the sky, and it's like reaching this vortex in the sky. And this one is called Redentore. Not sure what's Redentore. I'll put it here on the downstairs, but just look how beautiful it is. And I guess it talks about the imagination, the power of imagination of a kid, right? For the next ones, we actually need to go inside the block. And here's how it looks like. You see, this was before they came, these buildings were neglected. I think they also painted the buildings and just renovated them a little bit. As you can see, the area is still pretty neglected. Like, look at the gardens. I guess when this block was built, it was meant to be a middle-class block, but with lots of thought, with lots of spaces, green spaces around. And the idea was the neighbors will take care of those public spaces. Fortunately, as it often happens in slums, the locals are too preoccupied to take care of the gardens. And so what you get is gardens, like, some look okay, but some not so much. And here we have, this is a very surreal one, and it's called Spettacolo Rinnovamento Maturità. Spettacolo Rinnovamento Maturità. So it's spectacle, renovation, and matureness. Here downstairs you can see a building which looks just like the buildings here in the block, right? So it's a kind of a meta thing. So you see the building, and then you see the blue skies above. And here you see a head of a sculpture attached to a fish. Upstairs you see a balloon made of an orange. Just a piece of the orange peel went down. It's a pretty big block here with lots of public spaces, public areas, benches. And even though not many tourists come here, I must say it does, like, the paintings do make this area nicer in a way. The ambience, I don't know, it's art, right? It's the power of art. Even if no one appreciates it, it still has this underlying effect on you, right? So the next one is called Elisabetta. This is a black one. Again, very modern. Basically, it's a hand, a human hand, made from all those textures. So we have galaxies, and we have some textures from the world of biology. Again, very modern creation. Elisabetta. Pretty awesome. And right behind it, we have one of the most impressive ones. And this one is called Santa Maria di Shanghai. So, Saint Mary from Shanghai. I don't think Saint Mary was from Shanghai, but I guess that's the whole point of the piece. Okay, we have Saint Mary, I guess, with baby Jesus, I guess. I mean, I'm not big on Christian faith, but yeah. And on its top, it says in Latin, Santa Maria di Shanghai on her hat thingy. And she embraces little Jesus. The next creation is called E Carlo Alberto 93 colori. The 23 colors of Carlo Alberto. Simplistic creation of squares falling down from the skies, and the color palettes are very green, blue, yellow, and it really vibrates the entire building. This one's called Assolo, and it has a lady in very vague lines. A lady. She's wearing a dress, and she has red heel shoes. Okay, let's see what else is there. This one is called Almessol Invictus. So we're gonna have to find a translation to that. But essentially what we see here is a sun made of, looks like ancient letters, I guess, or ancient signs. And around it you have stars. Some of them, I don't know if you can see, you have a star here, and then you have a little ball made of the same letters. And here behind the tree, I don't think there's anything else, no. So it's like the 3 stars, it's like a star system, a galaxy or of sorts. What does it mean? If you understand it, leave a comment below. Now for the next one, just in front of it, this one is called Cascada di parole, which means a waterfall of words. But the nice thing here, I don't know if you can see it, but some apartments have AC engines outside, and the artists actually used that, and he painted over the AC engines, which to me is funny and pretty genius. You know, you work with what you have, so if you have engines of AC, you paint them. So one is red and one is purple. There's this little beautiful square, and you have 2 buildings. And there's also an angry dog. Here in the distance you can see, and this is one of the... No! Perché è arrabbiato con me? No! So here we have this creation. I can't find the name. Oh, here it is. It's called Vinci de Vinci, which is the famous quote by Julius Caesar, I think. Veni Vidi Vinci is written here in huge letters, and behind it this texture of blue and black and white forms. It's really pretty. And this one is really pretty, I think. It's called The Wind, and basically you have lines that I guess represent like leaves, and they're blue and black and yellow greenish, and you can just see how they fall, how they move around. It's almost like you can imagine it's like it's bye scusa. And you can see it almost moves in front of your eyes, right? You can really see the movement, although it's still. It's very pretty. And what I want to tell you is one of the nice things here is when you stand in certain angles, you get to see 2 or 3 paintings together, and then there's a dialogue between them, right? So if you stand here, for example, you have to your right this amazing sun. Here you have Vinci de Vinci, and there you have the surreal fish statue orange balloon thingy. And then you get, and there behind there's the falling squares with all kinds of colors. So when you stand in this point, for example, you can really appreciate 3 or 4 of them together. This one is called Distanza uomo-natura, the distance between man and nature, right? And what you see here are 2 fingers, just like in the famous painting of how God created mankind. But between those 2 fingers you have nature. Okay, this one is called senza titolo, which basically means no title. The color palette is very earthy. It's like brown, red, deep blue, green, yellow, beige, without a title. In front of it, we can see this one, and it's called Natura Morta, dead nature. Which I guess is, I think when you're painting, right? When you're studying painting, they put an apple, and this is called dead nature, right? You need to paint dead nature. So what we see here is a woman, and next to her you have all of those elements that usually when you start painting they give you as practice to paint. So you have a bowl of pears, and you have two bowls, maybe it's like an apple or something, and you have a cup, and you have the woman. Maybe the woman is the model, maybe it's the painter, we do not know. Okay, this one is called Hic sunt Adamentes. My Latin is very weak, so I'm not sure what it means. I'll try to look for interpretation. But it's beautiful. It has this oriental element, right? This dragon that we know from the Chinese culture. Then there's this Venus type of a woman, and she holds a diamond. And there's a scripture up top which says diamond. It looks maybe like a card in a deck of cards, maybe a tarot card of some sorts. Il Ponentino. Not sure what it means. It's like this undersea creatures, right? This little fish, baby fish and mother fish, and maybe a father fish, and they're swimming across this building. Okay, this is it's almost a photo of a woman. I think it's like an African native woman. And she's either dancing or playing music. Her hands are all over the place. And it's the colors of Africa, right? This black and brown, very African color palette. Again, no name plaque. I'll have to get back to the name of this creation. Look at it. I'm not sure if you can see. This one's getting peeled pretty badly. But it's a girl. It's a little girl. Maybe a Roma girl. You know the G word. I won't say it. What is called the Roma in Europe. Maybe. She looks like a poor sad girl. Okay guys, this is it for the Tor Marancia Open Gallery. I highly recommend that you come and visit here by yourself if you're in Rome, because it's just beautiful and it's different in real life. Very, very nice. I hope you like it. If you have your own interpretation for the art, write it down below. See you on the next video.